the G League rather than start here and then maybe go down to the G League?
He just needs to play, and he missed all of training camp. I think he got hurt on the second day of training camp, so he hasn't played at all. And he plays the one position where we actually have plenty of depth. So it makes a lot more sense for him to go to Santa Cruz and work his way into shape and get his legs underneath him.
Steve, you've talked about, you want Kai Bowman to stay on this team. We know the two-way situation. Have you guys thought about the avenues to keep him? Do you have a strong sense that you can keep him?
Well, it's pretty early on that front. I mean, the good thing with the two-way contract is that it's binding for the year. So, if we run out of days, which we probably will at some point, we'll have him in Santa Cruz, and then we can bring him back up when the Santa Cruz season ends, and then we would have his rights, restricted through restricted free agency anyway this summer. So. We're in a relatively good position in terms of his future, but we'd like to have him on the floor here, playing for us because he's been so effective. And that's going to be tricky just because of the hard cap and the circumstances that we face with the injuries. So right now we're more concerned with counting his days than we are anything else. So we'll try to be careful on this trip. If we have any light practices, I'll probably hold him out so that we don't use a day. So we can buy a few days here or there, and then sometimes, things have a way of working out that you don't foresee, and maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
Zach LaVine had a game last weekend where he had 13 threes, but the record for threes made in a game still belongs to Klay, who had 14 against Chicago last season. Just to jog your memory, what do you recall about that night? He at halftime, Klay had 10 threes. He finished with the 14, came out in the third, had the big headband on because he was bleeding when he collided with Damian. Just what do you recall about that night and Klay getting the record?
Well, I remember the floodgates opened up because he had been really struggling before that game, and he has a few times since I've been here. He's started out slowly in the season, and then obviously. He always turns it around, but that was the game that sort of opened everything up for him. And then the other thought, well, I had a couple thoughts. One thing that got lost was Alfonso McKay had a career high in front of his whole family down the street from his house, basically, which was a great thrill for Zoe and for his family. And then I also remember Klay's 14th three was very uncomfortable. We had a big lead, I think late third, and he was searching, he was launching. His teammates all wanted him to get it. It's one of those uncomfortable moments as a coach where you want your player to get a record, but you don't want to do the wrong thing, kind of